many Americans continued to do their best to honor Prohibition. And despite poor pay, poor training, and constant temptation, there were honest federal Prohibition agents. Some even put their lives at risk to uphold the law.
I guess it was about 1922 when my dad got into it. My father went into the Prohibition part of it because, well, partly because he didn't approve of alcohol, and partly because he needed a job, because we were living there on the farm and we didn't make very much, so he always had to have a different job someplace.
Frank Allen Mather had been a subsistence farmer in Nelson County, Kentucky, until Prohibition began, and he signed on with the Treasury Department. Mather's job was to scour the hills and hollows in his county for signs of moonshiners.
I went with him at times, and we would hunt the stills. Sometimes if you see smoke coming up out of the woods, well, you would know something's going on there. We would find these stills back in the woods, and they would have all the mash and everything. It was fermenting.
In the spring and summer, Mather and his sons dumped any mash or whiskey they found into the nearest stream. In winter, they sometimes poured confiscated whiskey into the radiator of their truck to keep it from freezing. Frank Mather's efforts as a Prohibition agent won him few friends among his neighbors.
Prohibition turned a lot of people against each other, there's no doubt about that. One night, I woke up and looked out my bedroom window, and I saw my dad over by the barn trying to pull things out of it, and the barn was on fire. It had been set on fire by someone who just wanted to retaliate against him. Then another time, my sister kept a dog for a friend of hers, and somebody took the dog over in the woods and shot it. Kind of frightening to have that happen.
Frank Mather was sent all over the state. One mission took him and several other agents to the little town of Russellville in Logan County to arrest some moonshiners. The local deputy, who may have been on the take, was protecting their still. Mather and the lawman each went for his gun.
Yes, I understand it. The deputy sheriff shot first, and then my dad shot him. And the deputy sheriff died instantly there, they say. My dad was taken to the hospital at Bowling Green, Kentucky, where he lived till the next day. He was shot through the chest and apparently bled to death. We got there just before he died. When the Prohibition law was repealed, I felt like it had just been kind of a waste of everything. But I was also, in a way, glad that my dad didn't have to go through that. He would have been very much against it. He would have felt like that his time had been pretty much wasted also.